It's like the weather has been so bizarre that, and I didn't know how to get the ragweed out of here. Yeah, so we have to figure this out, but everything in its own time. Yeah, I know there's so much space, but it's nothing. I will. I will. Your husband's like, get the hell out of here. Yeah. All right, ready? Let's do it. Come to a child's pose. Okay. So just allow yourself to absorb into the mat. And for those of us that are outside, breathe in the fresh air. It's so nice to be outside, and just let your body, your breath, your mind, just kind of relax into the practice this morning. There's nothing you really need to do. Like, you showed up. That's it. Make a connection with your hands so your palms spread and your index fingers feel the ground, and there's a lift of your forearms to begin to anchor, and then curl your toes into the mat and slowly start to lift your hips up to your first downward facing dog. And so adjusting from inside practice to outside is always a little different. So give yourself a little slack this morning. If balance feels a little wobbly, if you feel more underneath your hands, right. Take up as much space as you need on your mat. So maybe walk it out a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Breathe your hips way up off your shoulders. Let your head just kind of drop down. Spread the toes wide. Feel your outer triceps grip in. And then find your breath and find your dristi, your focus. Roll forward to plank and lead with your chest. Stack your body up nice and neat. Yeah. Broaden across the collarbone. Take the round out of the upper chest. Drive down into the mat, and then fix your eyes on one spot. And I'll encourage you this morning to rock your weight forward onto your tippy toes, and then rock your weight back so your heels extend. It's like a flex. Yeah. And then rock your weight forward onto your tippy toes. Good. Keep your body and your breath and connected, and then rock your weight back. So it's kind of like you're getting a calf stretch. Yes. Again, rock your weight all the way forward onto your tippy toes, like way out in front, and then rock your heels back. One more time, come all the way forward onto your tippy toes. Drop your knees down. They're going to be a little behind you. Keep the toes curled. Bend your elbows just halfway and pause. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Good. Re-straighten your arms to supported plank. Keep the knees down. And do it again, halfway to a push-up, and feel your belly draw in, feel your elbows squeeze tight alongside body, press up a little higher, kitty. Yeah, and then straighten your arms, press back up. One more, halfway at most, that's it. That's the sweet spot. Re-straighten, lift the knees, plank position, hips up and back to your dog. I take down dog with my knees a little bent. So see how this feels best. Roll forward plank position. You may take all your push-ups this morning with your knees down. You may take the push-ups out, okay? Halfway to your push-up. Great. Re-straighten your arms to plank position. Getting out's the hardest part. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Sweep your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. And when you lift your leg, lift from your inner thigh, flex the foot super strong. Feel your outer triceps grip in, feel your left hip hug in. Come forward, hug your right knee towards your navel, squeeze in. Land your right foot all the way forward and through, beyond your fingertips. So you get warm pretty quick. Yeah, it's just a little gray and ugly out, but we can make the sun maybe come out a little. Beyond the fingertips here, and just pause. If this is too much this morning, you can always drop your knee. And just feel like you're leading a little with your chest, like a little bit of an up dog happening. Yeah, stay, a couple more breaths. Squeeze your right hip in. Activate your back leg. It's always amazing how holding this pose, you're like, oh my God, I feel so much just being right here. Down dog, step back. Roll forward plank. Halfway to your version of a push-up, that may be a micro bend, draw your waist in, re-straighten your arms to plank position. Nice, hips up and back, down dog. From your inner left thigh, lift your left leg up, breathe. Feel your hands press, feel your outer right hip grip in. There's almost like a little scooping out of your armpits. Good, come forward, hug the knee in towards the navel a little, and then slide the left foot forward and through, be in a low lunge. On the fingertips, yes, a little bit of a lift of your heart. So it's like almost like a little cat-cow type thing here, yeah. And just breathe. Just feel the extension of the back leg. And if you feel nothing, then squeeze the muscles around the quadricep more. Tighten up the muscles around the right glute. Down dog. Plank position. We're going to do it again, but we're going to add some breath and movement. Halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten, plank, hips up and back dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, three-legged down dog. Come forward, hug your right knee in. Step the right foot forward and through, beyond your fingertips, just 2 breaths. One more big breath in. Hands come down, dog. Roll forward, plank, build some momentum, build some heat. Halfway to a push-up. Re-straighten to plank position. Hips up and back, down dog. Breathe your left leg up and back. Lift slowly, energetically from your inner thigh. Come forward, hugging the knee in, activate the core. Land the left foot forward and through, beyond your fingertips. It gets easier the more we do it, or at least we tell ourselves that. Just allow yourself to experience. Hands come down, down dog. Look to the top of the mat, step, or maybe you feel like you've got a lot of energy, you could float. Yeah, long spine weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself, let your head go. The hands don't make it to the floor this morning, just slide them to the shins, that's fine. Try it again, long spine, create some extension, some space for yourself. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Oh, I got a head rush. Drop your arms. Yeah, if you're lucky, you get a head rush. Stand up nice and tall. Here we go. Arms sweep straight up towards the sky. Go big. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Yeah, we're taking layers off. Dive, long spine to prepare. Step to plank. Yeah. Halfway to your push-up. Pull yourself through an up dog or baby cobra. Either works. Yeah. Hips up and back, down dog. Look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Again, arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare. You can step. If you're going to float, just be careful back here. Yeah, to float back light. Chaturanga. You lower through a baby back bend like a cobra or an up dog. You pick what feels best for you. Downward facing dog. Let's go again. Look where you want to go. Step or float. Get there light. Long spine. Keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. One more. Arm slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare yourself. Step, float, skip, crawl. Through a vinyasa that works. Up dog feels good for some of us. Not all of us. Downward facing dog, hips press back. All right, listen, hop your feet through your hands or just step. Lay down on your backs. Bend your knees in half. Reach your arms forward like a little Pilates roll up. If the neck is super sensitive this morning, option 1, hands behind the head. Option 2, a block behind your head, okay? You want to drive your lower back into the mat, look towards the sky or the ceiling. Hold. Now, keep the lift of the upper shoulders. Keep scooping the belly. Lift the legs on an angle that works for you. Straight up's going to be a little less intense, more on an angle. Closer towards the floor is going to be a little bit more intense, okay? You got it, Reg. Rebend the legs, take the feet flat, lift yourself up higher, but do it from your deep core muscles. Exhale the breath, let it go. All right, here we go. Pull ourselves up. We got to get our shit together. Yeah, pull ourselves up. Lift the legs on an angle that's working for you, or maybe nothing's working. Rebend the legs, take the feet flat, lift even higher, scoop it out. Exhale the breath, let it go. These bad boys sneak up on you. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle that works. Rebend, establish the feet back down, lift higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Only 27 more. No, I'm just kidding. Pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle that works. Rebend, lift higher. Exhale, let it go. One more, pull yourself up. Lift your legs on an angle that works. Maybe tap the heels this time. Lift them back up. Good work. Bend the legs, lift and scoop up higher. Exhale the breath, let it go. Hug the knees in and rock and roll. Get some momentum, cross the ankles. You can step, you can float, you can scoop back. Through a vinyasa, the up dog feels good. Hips up and back, down dog. Step the right foot forward, low lunge, pause. Yeah, you were here before, so it should feel a little bit easier. Arm sweep nice back. Yep, palms face down. Eyes the shoulders, squeeze. Bend heavy in the standing front thigh. And then rise to a high lunge, crescent lunge. Good, steer your hip points forward. Forget how nice it is to be outside. Like I'm always running, I'm always moving fast. It's nice to just feel the air, feel the fresh sounds around you of lawnmowers. Good. Hands drag to prayer at heart. You're gonna tip forward just a little bit and do this little baby air twist. I like this because this really isolates the legs. You wanna work a little bit into the ribs and keep your spine super long and your legs really energized this morning. Look to the floor, the left hand tense, the right arm peels. A block is wonderful here. I sometimes even knuckle my hand into the block and then I do it that way. And then stack open, perfect. Squeeze the right hip under, stack the two shoulders, and then look sideways or look up. Eyes meet the floor, right hand comes down, pause, just push the block forward. Be on your fingertips here and straighten out your front leg on track and scoop out your belly. Yeah, so your right leg may not go all the way straight and keep your back heel super lifted. So don't scoot your back foot in. Yeah, so be like in the same length of the stance. Just scoop out your belly and fold. Rebend the front thigh, pause. Yeah, turn your back foot on a strong angle, grip the right hip in, and then anchor and rise warrior one. Yeah, outer blade of your back foot secures the mat, left rib spin forward. If back is sensitive, you could tip forward a little, and I find that takes you out of your low back. Yeah, straight up and down sometimes jams right into that lower lumbar. And just breathe here, maybe look up with your eyes a little and just feel. Hands meet the floor. Move through a vinyasa or bag it and just go to a dog. That's okay too. The up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your left foot forward. Yep. Be on the ball of your back foot. There you go. Sweep your arms back like a set of wings and pause. So there's a steering of your left hip under and the back right leg is super engaged, like you're gonna launch. Yeah. And then rise on your breath, on your count, crescent lunge. The goal is to have your hip points forward, so you may need to soften your back knee in order to find that. Arms reach up energetically, neck is nice and neutral, you're heavy in that standing front thigh. You just breathe right here. Drag the hands to a prayer at heart. Lean forward just about 2 inches and then air twist to the left. So you're gonna go towards the pool, there you go. And it's like a micro like movement kind of thing here. Like you're isolating your legs, you're lengthening your spine, you're feeling your feet press into the mat. You're creating extension. Then you move your eyes down to the floor and you begin to open to the easy twist. The block is really helpful. Watch that the right shoulder doesn't roll in. Yeah, I like that, Reg, high up. That's perfect. Stack it up nicely here and breathe yourself open. Scissor the inner thighs together, grip the left hip in strong and take it 1 inch deeper. Eyes meet the floor, hands come down. Just move the block forward and be on your fingertips. Don't bump your back foot in. Just straighten your left leg as much as it's gonna go, maybe only an inch. And then scoop out your belly and fold. So you may be nowhere near that front leg. You may just be getting the sensation of stretching those hamstrings. Rebend that front thigh beyond the fingertips, widen the stance if it got a little too small, and then turn your back foot on a strong angle, grip the left hip in, and then rise warrior 1. Yeah. Steer the right ribs forward. These look good. And a little bit more forward is going to take you out of your lower back, so you can play with that. Feel the outer blade of your back foot and get a little heavier in your standing front thigh. Perfect. Hands to the floor, move yourself through a vinyasa, or just meet me in a down dog. You pick. Downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Let's see what happens when I start this. Hopefully it doesn't trip it. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top of the mat. Get there nice and light. Long spine to prepare. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair pose, weight into your heels. This pose creates the most resistance, don't you find? I don't know. Oh, I really like this song too. Miss Reggie needs this closer to her. Shoot up to stand up. It's Eddie Vedder. Yeah. Drag the hands to prayer, drop your arms. Here we go from the top. Arms slide up, sit deep, chair pose. Dive over, bent knees forward, fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. You got it. Up dog pulls you through. I'm gonna kill the bee. Downward facing dog, hips press you back. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior 1. I know, but we just injured a little. Hands to the floor through a vinyasa, just a small injury. Just enough not to sting us during our yoga practice. It can stay alive. Move through your down dog. Left foot forward, back foot turns, warrior 1. Hands back down through your vinyasa. Upward facing, smooth operation, hips up and back, down dog. Look where you want to go, step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold, sit into chair. You can take your chair with your feet separated too. Shoot up to stand up, drag it to prayer. It's the best part, drop your arms. Yeah, arms slide straight up, sit heavy in your heels, chair pose. Dive over, bent knees forward, fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog is smooth, press firm through your hands and your feet, hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior 1. Back down we go. You can add or subtract push-ups. Anything fun here? Or just take it out, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior 1, keep it moving. Hands back down on your breath, on your beat. We all move a little different. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Look where you want to go. Keep the arms straight. Step or float to the top. Get there light. Long spine when you arrive. Exhale, fold. Sit heavy in your heels, chair pose. Press up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. Again, arms slide up. Sit deep, chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Long spine sets it up. Step or float through your vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, building some momentum. Rise on your breath, warrior one. If it's too fast, you slow it down. Hands come down through your push up. Up dog, you can take them out. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands, back foot turns. Come on up, warrior one. Back down we go. Vinyasa. Up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Look where you want to go. Step or float to the top. Get there light. One more. Long spine, weight forward. Exhale, fold. Heavy in your heels chair. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Drop your arms. One more for good luck. Arms slide up. Sit heavy chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine, prepare. Step or float, vinyasa. Up dog is smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. We're on a mission. Hands back down through your breath, through your movement. Press through the hands and the tops of the feet. Yeah. Hips up and back, down dog. One more. Left foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one. Good. Back down we go. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. So feet come together. Let's lean on our right hand and take a Vashisthasana side plank. Yeah, you can drop your bottom knee. You can modify with your forearm down. You can stagger your feet, stack your feet, lift your feet. Anything goes. Find something you know you can hold. I like that, Reggie. It's a good one. Excellent. Stay with it. Plank position, don't flop. Pause. Establish the plank and then lean on the other side. Vashisthasana. Find what works that you know you can hold and maintain. Stay with it. Spark up your toes. Nice stuff. Plank position, try not to flop, do it slow. Yes. Let's drop down onto our forearms for a few breaths. Karate chop the mat and bring your elbows in a little. And like we did early in the practice, bring your weight all the way forward onto your tippy toes, like really far forward, like your nose comes forward. And then shift your weight back like you're flexing your heels. Try it again. Come all the way forward. Good. And then all the way back. Do it again, all the way forward. All the way back. Good. Again, all the way forward. All the way back. One more, all the way forward. All the way back. Drop all the way down onto your belly. Yep. All the way down to your Sphinx pose and just breathe. Breathe yourself open. Nancy, can you still hear me? Give me a thumbs up because something got funky. You good? Okay, great. So just be in Sphinx for a second and feel like you're pulling the mat forward. Yeah. Okay, so walk the hands in, karate chop the mat, engage the thighs, press back up to a forearm plank, squeeze the belly in, and then one hand at a time, press up plank position. Good work. Hips up and back, down dog. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong and pause. Take your block, set it up from the ground up, right hand down. Press the back of your tricep in and then grow from the ground up. You can always have your arm on the top of the thigh, guys. Yeah. B variation. Katie, it looks great. Grip the right hip in super strong. turn the bottom ribs. Add in a half bind if you want. You can also always slide your hand to your hip if you don't feel like you want to wrap your arm all the way around. Hand to hip places the shoulder and it's a really nice natural opening. And then it gives you the opportunity to kind of twist the chest open. Yeah. Breathe. Spin your right ribs towards the ceiling or sky. Squeeze the right hip under more. Good work. Stay a few more breaths. Unravel the left arm if you took a little funky bind. Let the length of that left arm pull you back up, warrior two. This isn't a long hold, but just establish a pretty wide, long stance so your tailbone can drop down. If you're lucky today, you're going to get sprayed by that pool cleaner. Yeah, breathe the collarbone open. Good. Flip the palm, reverse your warrior. However this works best for you. You got it. Yeah, it's like a small movement, a side body opening. And you're going to come back through warrior two. You're going to reach out, grab your block, and float up into a half moon. Yeah. And this is where, you know, practice outside, go right hand down stuff. Yeah, off the edge of that right baby toe. Perfect. Left hand can come to your hip. Establish your balance. Awesome. And then find what works here in your balancing pose. Maybe it's a half bind, maybe it's no bind, maybe it's thinking about a bind. Maybe grab hold of that foot in the bind, kick behind you, soften behind the right knee a little. And put all your attention towards that right foot and that right hip as you squeeze it under. 3 more breaths. Unleash that foot if you took a bind. Look to the floor, giant step back, warrior two. Warrior two. Wrap up your arms so your left arm wraps underneath the right. Yes, and rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up and then drop. Think about the lower half of the body. Wrap your inner right thigh open and steer your right ribs forward. There you go. Close your eyes and hold here. 5 breaths. We're going to hear the sounds of nature right here. Breathe. Keep the shape of the legs. Unravel your arms big. Take it to the floor through a vinyasa. Nice work. Enjoy the push-up if you're taking. Enjoy the back bend if you're taking, or go right to a down dog. Once you get to down dog, land your left foot forward. Turn your back foot strong. Set up from the inside, from the ground. Left hand down and then right arm peels. So go, yeah. I know, I'm such a visual person. Like I need to see you, need to see me, and then we make it work. Yes. Stack it up here, grip the bottom hip under. And then add in the half bind if you feel like it, or your hand can just come to your hip. I like this because it puts the shoulder in its right spot. Yeah, lean back a little. See if you, yes, that's gonna help get the hip a little more open. And then don't resist the pose. Let your body just kind of naturally unfold into it. Wrap that inner thigh open more. Feel your feet, feel the strength of your legs, feel your breath moving. Unravel just your right arm to the sky. Let the strength of that right arm pull you up, warrior two. Just a brief moment here, widen the stance. Breathe the chest and the collarbone open. Get a little heavier in that standing front thigh. Flip the palm, reverse your version of a reverse warrior. Side body nice and long. Come back through warrior two. You can take your right hand to your hip, reach out, grab your block, and pop up into half moon. The block goes a little off the edge of that left baby toe and forward enough that your side ribs go long. And then play. You know what's fun, Katie? Is to take your left hand and press it into your shin. Yeah, and really find that dynamic lift for that side ribs, and then lift through that inner thigh. And then you can add any version of a bind or no bind. It's fun. Yeah. It really tests the balance. So much so that you could barely do it. One thing at a time. Good work. Couple more breaths. Add in anything fun, just release into a regular half moon for a moment. And then really focus on that standing left leg. Generous step back warrior two, big juicy step warrior two. Make sure your feet aren't all over the mat. Good. Spread the collarbone, wrap the inner thigh, and then wrap your right arm underneath your left. If you think you did the wrong arm, just switch up the sides. Rather than yanking down, lift the elbows up. And steer your left ribs a little bit more forward and wrap your inner thigh open. Close your eyes and just be here. Feel a few breaths. Stay with it. Unleash just your arms, spread them wide. Keep your arms open nice and wide. Straighten your left leg on track. Pivot the left toes in. So you're going to face towards the big movie screen. Yeah, arms are open nice and wide. And from your right hip, turn your right toes out and your left toes in a little. So you're just setting up for triangle without actually having to move too much. And then pull yourself into a Trikonasana facing the back skinny edge of the mat. Right hand rests on right shin. Anywhere along that right leg is great. If your lower back is sensitive, you could be up really high. I like this. Yeah. So kind of almost like squeeze your right quadricep and lift that way. And then find stability from the ground. Your arches of your feet lift, your outer blades of your feet press, the side ribs stay really long. And there's a little sensation that you're leaning back, but you're not at all going into your low back. Keep the breath flowing, keep the shape strong. Let the top arm pull you up. Don't drop your arms, keep them straight. Keep the arms nice and open, pivot the right toes in, and from your left hip, your left toes out. And then you pick the distance, which I like. So some of us like it bigger, some of us like it smaller, and then you pivot right here. Yes, so some of us need a much tighter, smaller trico. Others of us need a juicy, big one. Right. Lean back a little bit and just feel. Feel your body, the dimensions of it, the shapes that you're creating. Two more breaths. Eyes go to the floor, hands go down, plank position. Halfway to your push-up, drag yourself through a smooth up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up this morning. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Separate your feet, hips width distance. Standing on the right leg. This is where balance gets a little funky because we're outside. Hug the left knee in. We could just use that as an excuse. Yeah, hug it in. Stand up nice and tall. This may be as far as you go this morning, and give yourself the option of just being here. Moving on, you'll hook your big toe, right hand slides to your hip. Standing right leg must stay straight. The left leg can go out as bent as it needs to be. Switch legs. Yeah, so right leg is the leg we're balancing on. So we're all together. Perfect. Right arm can extend up. Straight towards the sky. And then we're going to take into a twist. So either grab the outside of your foot or do this with a bent knee. 90-degree angle works great. Yeah, you got it. Nice work. Hip points move forward. Feel your chest open. We start to look sideways, maybe back into that back hand. Pull around to center. The arms stay up and the leg stays up if you can. Wrap a little into eagle. Wrap your legs, wrap your arms. Squeeze nice and tight. I know this one gets you a little burning sensation. Squeeze the legs nice and tight. So move your knees a little to the left and upper body a little to the right. And if you can't get your foot to wrap around your calf, just use it as like a little toe stand. Yeah, Sit deep like you're in chair. Wrap up nice and tight, heavy in that standing heel. Keep squeezing the lower half of the body. Squeeze it super, super tight. Don't let it go. Just unravel your arms like chair pose. Unwind into warrior one. You have to kind of guide your foot back. Perfect. Keep the arms rising up. Straighten your right leg on track. Bring your hands to your hips for a moment. Scoot your back foot in about an inch. Right hand stays on hip. Left arm extends up. Find a lot of extensions with that back leg. Come halfway down. Steer your right hip back. Come the rest of the way down into your twisting triangle. Hand slides to the flat part of your back. Look sideways, look up, and then stack it up here. Yes, these are great. Feel like someone's got you by your back, your hips, and they're pulling them back. So just having your hand on your lower back is going to give you a lot of solid info, because knowing where your lower back is going to give you like, am I a little too far forward in my front leg or my back leg? Good. Look sideways, look up. Try not to look back. The second we look back in most of these twisting poses, we end up rounding. Connect to your breath. Hug your hips in and twist a little deeper. On the next sharp exhale, breath. Eyes go to the floor. Hands come down. Step to the top. You can separate your feet for this next chair if it feels better for you, but heavy in your heels as you sit. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow, twist to the right. Heavy in your heels, two knees lining up, nice and even. Nice long spine as you get in there. Open up your arms or add whatever it is that you need. If you want to take a side crow today, that's great. If not, just stay right here, a few more breaths. Fierce in your breath. Stay determined. Pull around to chair. Sit down 3 inches deeper because you have it in you to do so. Shoot up to stand up. Drag it to prayer. Wasn't that exciting? Drop your arms. Let it go. Stand now on your right leg, left leg, excuse me, and hug your right knee in. Left leg, left leg, left leg. Hug it in. This might be it for today. This is the first thing that happens to me when I don't practice yoga is I have no balance. It's almost like I don't have the arches of my feet just like go. So if you're feeling a little wobbly, you just gotta have to stand up tall, hook the big toe, and begin your movement of extension forward, whatever it is. It may just be 90 degrees. Maybe the arm rises up, maybe not. Out of the lower back, deep into the belly, stand tall. Keep the lift and add the twist. Hand to the outside of your foot or a bent knee, you pick. Look sideways or begin to look back. Stay with it. A little imperfection makes it interesting. Keep the lift of the leg, girls, and pull around to center. See if you can lift the leg straight up and the arms up. Deep in your belly. Wrap yourself up, eagle. It's like a package. Right arm under. Yeah. Squeeze deep. Weight in your heels. Sit a little deeper. You got this. So squeeze the legs super, super tight. Just unravel your arms. Just the arms. Yeah, but you're going to stay low because the left leg is already set up for warrior one. So just unravel it back and land warrior one. If it's not so pretty, it's okay. Get the blade of your back foot to press, Steph, and you're in good shape. Yeah. Straighten the left leg on track. Take your hands to your hips and just scoot your back foot in an inch. Left hand stays, right arm extends. Lots of extensions in that back leg. You come halfway down, steer the left hip back, rest the way down. You're set up. Winning pose right here. Yeah, I like the block up nice and high because it gets you to really find that nice core, nice side body, and begin to twist. Stack it up. So Reg, take your hand and slide it to the outside of your right hip, your left hand. Take your left palm. Yeah, and there you go. Now give it like a little noogie, like pull it up a little, and then you're in good shape. It's kind of just reminding you to get out of that bottom hip and then look sideways and twist there. That's perfect. Anchor strong through the inner and outer thighs. Press strong through your feet and legs. Stay with it. 2 more. Eyes meet the floor. Hands come down. Step to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Fold into yourself first. Then sit into your big bear chair here. Nice deep chair. Hands slide to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow. Twist to the left. Watch that the right knee doesn't slide past the left. Heavy in your heels. Spine nice and long. Get in there. Open up your arms. Do whatever you need to do to make this work. Side crow if you took it. Heavy in your legs. Keep the breath flowing. Pull around to chair. Sit all the way down. Boat Navasana. Yes. Arms can go straight up. Hands can go down on the ground. They can rest on blocks. Hands can go behind the thighs. I like the hands down, and I like to kind of claw the mat because it helps me lift my collarbone and chest and reminds me that the posture is all about the core, not the lower back. Keeping the hands down, lower into an Ardha Navasana. With the hands down, make sure your neck isn't getting anything funky. Just look up. Navasana, pull it up. Not always the most prettiest thing. Cross the ankle, step or float through your vinyasa. Stick with it, guys. It's almost there. Up dog pulls you through. Hips up and back, down dog. Right foot lands high on the ball of your back foot, crescent lunge. Oh my God, so much better than when we started. Hands to prayer at heart, inhale the breath. Lean out. If you like that air twist, go for it. Just stay like that. Or you can hook and get in there. Yeah. You can also take an easy twist here. Either of those options work great in this crescent with a twist. You want to be bold on that back foot though. So weight all the way forward. You got it. More weight forward, Jess. You're in good shape. Lean back a little. Get the crown of the head to line up with that back foot. Yeah, if you want to open up your arms, go for it. Rip your right hip underneath you. Keep twisting. One more big breath in. Twist a little deeper. Hands to frame your front foot. Step to a plank. Halfway to your push-up. Listen carefully. Re-straighten to plank. Good work. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands high on the ball of your back foot. Crescent lunge. Come on up. Hands to prayer at heart. Lean out. You can stay up and air twist. You can hook. You want to find a lot of extension in your torso and through your back leg, whatever you're choosing to do. You're high on the ball of your back foot. Lean back a little bit and get in there. Get the crown of the head to line up with that back heel. And like we've been practicing in those planks and those forearm planks, rather than having the weight back in your heel, bring more weight forward. Ride out that exhale as you twist a little deeper. Eyes go to the floor, hands come down. Plank position. Make the transition smooth at this point. Chaturanga, but pause. Revisit to plank. Hips up and back, down dog. Breathe your right leg up and back, 3-legged down dog. Come forward, hugging your right knee in and slide the right shin forward for a half pigeon. That's a good release. Oh, they're annoying. Melt yourself into this. Yeah, take your left thigh, Katie, more down. Okay, so pull your chest up. Keep your right leg where it is. This is like a little bit of a funky pose. It's a hip opener. So turn your left thigh out on an angle. Nancy, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm making my left leg kind of like a half frog. And then I need you to just kind of go on an angle to the corner edge of your mat and fold. Yeah, and just play with it a little. So your back leg is kind of on an angle and the back calf is flexed. You got it. You feel that because it's a little bit of a different, it gets you a little more in your groin on the left side. And you may not be able to come all the way down. You could be up a little bit more in your forearms. Good, pull yourself up. First, release the leg and get your torso forward. Curl the back toes under, step to a dog. Breathe your left leg up. Come forward, hugging your left knee in, scoop out the belly, and then land your left leg down, half pigeon. So first we'll take what we know, the normal one, and then we'll do the funky thing. And fold. Fold yourself in half right here. Drop down a little deeper. Enjoy it. Reg, does it bother your knee? A little bit on the inside. You could take the block and you can kind of prop yourself up. And then you could just stay upright like this too. Think about it as more of like you're creating the shape. So it's less rigidity in the body. Yeah. And some days things just hurt. Every day that something hurts. Let's pull the torso up. Let's try the funky one. So keep the left leg where it is. And you kind of like, so play with it, Jess, because I know that side was a little funky. So the right leg bends out kind of on an angle and the foot calf kind of flexes. And then you kind of just fold. And you may only go like an inch. Like, see how I'm up really high? This may be it, that you're getting this inner thigh to stretch, or maybe you can come all the way down. Pull the torso up nice and slow. Keep your left leg where it is and just swing your right leg around. So you go right into a seated spine twist. Move the left foot out enough that you're not sitting. I'll face this way because it's easier for you to mimic me. Okay, so your left leg is bent. Perfect. Right hand behind you. Give this leg a squeeze and then look sideways or look back. Come back to center. You can counter stretch the opposite direction and then just switch the legs. So now the right leg goes on the bottom, the left leg bends. Just make sure you're not sitting on this right heel and you're in good shape. Your left hand goes behind you. I just give my leg a squeeze to get in there and then inhale the breath to lengthen and exhale to twist. Keep the foot grounded if you can, and it's going to help you stay more stable in your lower spine. Come up to center, counter stretch if it feels good. And then come around and just unravel your legs. And if you have your block, bring it with you because we're going to lay down and back bend. So 3 back bends here. Starting off together, before you go with the block underneath, let's go into a regular bridge. So feet hips width distance, lift the hips, and kind of either robot your arms or interlace them. Yeah. Steer the feet forward, inner thighs down and under. Yeah. Exhale the breath lower down. And then decide what you need. Maybe you're going for more restorative block underneath that lower back, any direction, the low, the medium, or the high, or maybe you're flipping your pumps. So the backyard definitely goes a little down. So you may lift up and feel like you're on a ride. Yes, give it a whirl. Or just go supported bridge, interlacing your hands. That's perfect. Or second set bridge pose. Steer the feet forward, the inner thighs down and under, and lift. The lift comes from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. If you're in a full wheel, exhale the breath, come down. If you're on a block and you're supported, just stay. One final one, Katie, there's a bee right there. It's gone. It was hanging out. It likes the shirt. Go for it. One more, or lift the legs up if you're on a block for supported back bend. There's definitely more bees this year. And lift up here. Right in this moment, you get to lift a little bit higher. Exhale the breath. If you went into full wheel, start to come down. If your legs are up on a block, bend your knees in half first. Get the feet flat to the floor, and then lift the hips up and lower down. Good. Take your feet as wide as the mat and let your knees knock in. Yeah, this neutralizes the lower back. And then reach for the outer blades of your feet for a full happy baby. Yeah. Pull the knees down around the rib cage. Let the upper shoulder blades kind of melt to the floor. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a juicy squeeze. And let's slide into Shavasana, complete rest. So there's a lot of distractions, but that's okay. Just find calmness in your body, most importantly. Full big breath in. Full loud exhale, breath out. Arms reach up over the top of the head. Opportunity to restart always. This practice is amazing for that. Hug the knees in. When you're ready, give them a big squeeze in. And use the strength of your body and just rock yourself up. Sit up nice and tall. Keep your eyes closed for these last moments. And just feel the practice, how it kind of sets you off. Hopefully on a positive note. Bow your head for a moment. Have some gratitude that they're doing lots of landscaping. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste. That was fun. That was awesome. Good job, Nancy. See you next time.